How's it going, guys? Nathan, Nathan's DIY Garage, and today we're getting back on this 135. We're going to pull out the whole entire cowl. What we're planning on doing here, we're planning on pulling the cowl out, then let's just hopefully access enough the heater core hoses, and we're going to pull those off, and hopefully we kind of figure out what's going on with this thing. Now, there's a few things here. Either it could be stopped up. We don't know what's happened to this thing. Someone could have it blocked off if it was leaking before. We just don't know. But one thing's for sure, we're going to find out. Okay, so here's where we're at, guys. We pulled all the cowling out, and we had to pull the cross member. I don't know what I do with it here. It goes from up there to over here. I think that's particular to the convertible model only. Luckily, that had to come off. So we pulled that off. We got the upper rubber line off, and we don't really see anything in it. We pulled the lower push lock fitting off. If I can get it snapped around here, don't see ya. Look at that. And it's just full of stop leak, just full to the max. And if I get you in there to see this one or not, look at that guy. He just barfing stop leak out everywhere. So I think what we're gonna try to do here, I don't have the garden hose still out because it's winter time. I think we're gonna go ahead, and since we have both sides of it off, we might go ahead and just try to shoot a little bit of air through it. There shouldn't be a restriction, but we'll be careful not to over pressurize it, and hopefully we're gonna see a bunch of that crap come out. Then we'll maybe try to put some more water in it, maybe pour some in through a hose, maybe force it through. See if I can find a piece of hose to go on that fitting and do it like that. Okay, so this is where we're at. We got a piece of hose here, just a random piece I had, so I could push the rubber end on the heater core spout. And I had another end I cut my hand over, use the air compressor, put the nozzles in it, and blow through it. Now, we never want to blow through this, capping both holes up, obviously. But what we've done here, we put the hose over the top one, we blew through it, a whole bunch of crap came out the bottom. We cycled about a gallon of water through it. Then we put the rubber hose in the bottom, and then we back blew it through the top, about a gallon of water through it again. And then we just sprinched a little more through the top and put it through the bottom, and it was running clear. So probably 2.5 gallons of water through it. I think what we're gonna do at this point, we're gonna go and start the car up and get some of the stuff moved off of it. And I just want to flush anything that could still be stuck in the lines going down to here out, because this still has some clumps of stuff in it. And we're gonna go ahead and put a brand new O-ring in that hose, and this guy right here, because we can't trust that O-ring in that hose anymore. So let's go ahead and start it up and do that. And the theory behind this is hopefully, turn my light off here, is hopefully to get it all flushed out, and then we'll go ahead and hook it back up without putting the cowling in, and we'll start it up. We'll top it off with antifreeze, because now we have straight water in there, and hopefully it'll cycle through and it'll work. There's a lot of hopefullys in that. So hopefully the heater core is not stopped up. It don't seem like it is. Now it flows through real easy. A little bit worried about not being able to get all the stop leak out of it. That wasn't just bar stop leak. That was, I don't know if it was Blue Devil or what devil it was, but it was some kind of devil in there. It's just another perfect example, guys. Never use stop leak, especially on a BMW. All right, here we are. You see, it's blurred out quite a bit of it. Right at first, it was solid stop leak coming out. The coolant's still full of silver shavings from the stop leak. We're gonna go ahead and turn the car off, run it about 20 seconds, and refill. Okay, so here we are. We have the old O-ring, which you can't really tell on camera. I don't know why the hell the camera's doing that. Flickering for some reason. But the old O-ring is on the left, the new one's on the right. And, oh, it's my light, I guess. There we go. This one you can barely see on the camera. The edges are flattened on it. It's not too soft. While we're in here, we're just going to replace it. That way we know it's a nice fresh new O-ring. We're not going to have a leak by the firewall. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm ready to hook the hoses back up And I think I'm about to run and get some antifreeze, because I think I used it all in this car before, and do the bleed procedure and see if we have heat. Okay, so here we are. Everything's back together. Went and grabbed some antifreeze. And for you guys that just started watching these videos, on these cars you have to do the bleed procedure, which is push the start button in the second position where the car is not running. All the dash will light up. You hold the accelerator pedal to the floor for 12 seconds and it'll start running the primary water pump. And it'll go through a bleed procedure for 12 minutes. I don't know why the hell it's not doing nothing. It should be running. And it'll cycle off and on, all that stuff for 12 minutes. And that'll blow up all 100% of the air out of all the lines. You turn the heater on all the way up with the fan on number 1 and number 2. And that should open up the heater core. So, I don't know why it's not moving. It should be cycling off and on, but it's not. It's only been about 2 minutes, so I'm not sure what's going on with that, but you can see all the crust stuff from that stop leak just all through the whole system, all through everything. What a freaking nightmare. Okay, so I don't know why it stopped there for a second, but you can see all the air bubbles coming out of it, and it'll cycle off and on. It seems like for some reason, sometimes when you close the door, the driver's door, it'll kind of fall back into sleep mode. I do it a couple times. You just got to kind of watch it and make sure it's going to keep going. And it's going to cycle off and on. You can see a little stream squirting in there, and that's how you bleed these cars. And it has to run the whole cycle at 12 minutes. Then we can start it up and hopefully have heat. And if we have heat, we're going to put all this back together. We're going to put the dash back together and find about 30 screws that were missing in the dash. And that's it. Well, holy crap, boys, it fixed her. What a freaking nightmare. So what we have here, we have it running. We bled the system. We started it up. And within the first 5 minutes, we had heat. So I'm just put the bar back in. I dropped a pair of pliers down in this thing. It's in the very bottom of the frame rail. So we're going to reassemble all this. We'll jack it up, pull my pair of pliers out, and then we have to put that back together. And that is going to take some doing. Probably some more time looking through the bolt bin, trying to find half the stuff that was missing than anything. So we'll try to get this thing all put back together. We're probably going to wait to put this back together until we actually go drive it to make sure it keeps working. And we're just back on reassembly. I don't know how many hours I have in this car with all the water pump nightmare and all the leaks and all the issues and the heater not working and the oil filter housing gasket and on and on and on and on. But I don't know, I probably definitely have a good solid work week for anybody else in it. So we're gonna go ahead and let her keep running, make sure there's no leaks at the firewall, which there's not so far, and just put some miles on it and make sure it's gonna stay working for the customer and give it back to him, because I'm tired of messing with it for sure. But that's it, guys. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back in another video tomorrow. See you later.